I don't want to take Craig out. He's important to this morning. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful to see you here after 2 years of effort and to be in the company of a group of such warm people who will help us to part the fog today and carry out our purpose. Life is precious. We do all we can to honor and protect it. We struggle to explain and find some purpose and consolation in the loss of people who exemplify decency and a commitment to making this a better world. Today we are helpless to understand the murder of each and every one of the 298 people who perished in the skies above eastern Ukraine on Thursday. Among them were a number of our partners in the global movement against HIV, traveling to the International AIDS Conference for the very purpose of contributing to the betterment of society. What a bitter irony that people working to do such good would be lost to such a gratuitous act of hate and violence. We dedicate our efforts today to them, to their enormous contributions to ending this epidemic, and to the vision of social justice they sought to advance. We walk in the spirit that they leave behind, of eagerness to create a world in which all people are able to achieve healthy, fulfilled lives. And we urgently call once again for leadership that firmly rejects the sort of barbaric acts that caused this loss of life and restores peace and civility to the world. At the conclusion of today's walk, I encourage you to visit the National AIDS Memorial Grove immediately adjacent to us. There, you can both pause to remember all of those we have lost to HIV and AIDS and all whose lives we seek to protect, as well as the souls of those people who perished on Malaysian Airlines Flight 17 this week. I'm a worrier, and for years I worried that when that generation of elected officials who stood up so early and boldly to demand a response to AIDS left public life, many of them with deep personal ties to that unfolding nightmare, we would be without champions so essential to sound public policy on this issue. The presence this morning of some of those earliest champions and of a new generation of vigorous advocates for our cause assures that the proper response at all levels of government continues. I'm honored to introduce a committed and effective set of leaders in our shared fight. Let me ask each of them to stand as I read their names, and we will applaud them as a group. Please welcome President of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, David Chu, Supervisors David Campos and Mark Farrell. Also with us is Recreation and Park Commissioner Eric McDonald, and I want to thank him in particular for allowing us to take over his living room today. I would also like to express special thanks to a long dear friend, Supervisor Scott Wiener, whose leadership on the funding of state and local HIV and AIDS services has been profound, and who was a great champion of AIDS Walk San Francisco 2014. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, all of our elected officials. Moments to express my deep appreciation and respect for Craig Miller, Dimitri Rizos, William Archer, and all of the AIDS Walk organizers who made today possible. Their goodness has resulted in nearly $85 million being raised for HIV and AIDS services in the Bay Area in the past 27 years, and we can't be sufficiently grateful for their efforts. Over these last weeks, it has been my honor to talk to a number of you and to thank you for your commitment to AIDS Walk San Francisco. I have been deeply moved by your years of profound community service. You have spoken of the many reasons you are eager to participate year after year. Memories of a lost aunt or father and fervent hope for a cure. Concern about an HIV-positive friend or coworker and a sense of urgency to keep them healthy. Resolve to help a son remain HIV negative and a wish to halt new infections once and for all. After 33 years, you simply want this to be over. We do not have a cure for HIV, but Project Inform is helping to lead the productive search for one. Even without a cure, the tools to end this epidemic are in our hands today. By assuring that everyone who is HIV positive learns his or her status, and that HIV positive people are engaged immediately in treatment, we can lengthen lives and strengthen quality of life significantly. Effective HIV treatments reduce transmission by up to 96%. So too, use of PrEP by people truly vulnerable to infection can be up to 97% effective in preventing acquisition of HIV. PrEP involves daily use of an anti-HIV medication and continued efforts to practice safe sex by an HIV-negative person. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because you walk, we can make deaths from HIV and AIDS very rare. Because you walk, we can create the first HIV-free generation in more than 30 years. Your efforts support not only Project Inform's advocacy and educational programs, but the life-saving work of 43 other agencies on whose behalf we are the proud stewards of this event. I ask that you continue to support the effort to end HIV, and ask that everyone you know do the same thing until that great day 10 to 15 years from now when we can declare actual victory over it. You have already done so much, but I ask you one more favor. Make sure that everyone you love and care about knows his or her HIV status. If they are anxious about being tested, go with them and support them. Make sure that you will always be there for them, no matter what the outcome. HIV testing services are available just to the right of this stage. This simple act on your part will help us immeasurably to seize today's very real opportunity to make HIV history. It will take solidarity to end this epidemic. And at the end of this program, a group of people standing to my left, HIV positive and HIV negative people, will lead the walk to end this epidemic once and for all. We welcome them, and we are honored to follow them today. Thank you very much.